Hi, we are Dee and Cindy Hathaway. That's where the Hathaway we go comes from. And we are here today, 7 weeks post total knee replacement surgery.
7 weeks, 1 day, but who's counting?
Evidently you are, my friend. But that's not why we're here.
No.
We are here because we sold our Ford truck.
It's gone.
Finally. And today we're going to tell you, we're going to tell you why we bought it. We're going to tell you why we sold it. We're going to tell you how much we lost or didn't lose when we sold it. We're going to tell you where it is now, which is kind of funny. And maybe you're going to find out what we're doing next.
It's so funny.
Okay. So it is, we lovingly called the truck Mater when we loved it. A 2023 F350 Super Duty with the 6.7 liter high output, long bed, fully loaded Lariat. It was a beautiful truck. We bought that truck because we had taken some long trips in Larry, our earlier truck, who was a 3/4 ton gasser, and we were looking for something that was a little more substantial. This truck definitely was. We were in Phoenix in December of 23 and said, let's just go look at trucks. And this one was sitting on the lot. We test drove the Ford, the Chevy, the GMC, tried to test drive a Toyota, but they weren't interested in selling us one. But we wanted the diesel, which is why we went with this. So we showed up at Peoria Ford. Cindy saw it back in the corner, and it was like, boom.
It was the only red one on the lot.
It's the only red. We wanted red with a tan interior.
There it was.
That's what we got.
Well, we went to get a 250.
We did.
But it was a 350, but it had everything we wanted, so
we,
I mean, it was just off by one number.
Had we ordered it,
it's fine.
Yes, it was just 100 points off. We would not have got a 1 ton. Not unhappy that we did.
We probably wouldn't have got the long bed.
And we wouldn't have got the high output engine because 500 horsepower.
Not all those things we were looking for.
Don't need it, but we
liked them.
So we used the truck a little bit and towed it around some. We didn't really have a long trip in it until...
Towed the trailer around, you mean?
What did I say?
You said we used the truck and towed it around, but we actually drove the truck and towed the trailer around.
Semantics. Tomato, potato.
I just want to be clear, because people out there will wonder why we towed the truck around.
So we didn't really take any long trips. We've been on a few long trips before, and one reason we bought the 1 ton. But we did make a trip to an Airstream rally, and we were heading out from there to go to Washington for a couple months to meet up with some friends and to, Airstream. That's what we love to do. You may recall the air conditioning went out shortly into the trip in Utah.
Like on day 5.
Yeah. And they said, we can't get a part.
I'm not going to tell the whole story again.
I'm not. I'm recapping. We went to Bellevue. They replaced a part. It wasn't the right part. We dealt with so many attempts at fixing the air conditioning, and then we got home and a whole big mess with our local Ford dealer started, and it turned us off of Ford
big time
so much. Yeah. And through all of that, we were like, if only somebody that we know or one of our relatives who has a Ford would have this happen to them.
Because we felt like nobody believed us, and they're like, oh, they're just big complainers.
Doing it for subscribers. One of our relatives and a friend had a truck just like ours, but it was a year newer, and it was the short bed, I believe. Yeah. But it had the high output, the whole works. He put a ton of miles on his trucks. He drives it a lot. We didn't drive Mater much at all, comparatively speaking, but he had an issue with his air conditioning.
Was it the air conditioning?
It was the air conditioning. And so he took it to the local Ford dealer, and one of the first things...
The same local Ford dealer.
Right, same one we had the issues with. Yeah. And they lied to him too. And they told him, oh, this damage was caused by a rock, but it's in a place where a rock couldn't get to. And it was just, well, you put too many miles on your truck. He had the extended warranty because he knows he puts a lot of miles on his truck. And he's like, does it matter how many daily miles I put on the truck? Yeah. And so they tried shafting him with that and a couple of other things. And it was just a big ordeal, and I believe he ended up paying to have it fixed himself.
Yeah. So I just want to.
You going to clarify?
No, I want to. I don't know what the word is.
Inject.
Yes. So it was actually my daughter and son-in-law that told us about this.
Yes, it's a third-hand story.
Yeah, and anyways, and so I said to my daughter, I said, I'm sorry, but I'm secretly kind of happy that this happened to him so that now you believe us, you know? And she goes, oh, Mom, totally believe you. Totally believe you after hearing what happened to him. Yes.
Right.
Validation it's just a good thing sometimes.
So
kind of like when people say they have a horrible time with their knee replacement and it really hurts and they're not off their walker in a week and playing golf at 2.5 weeks.
And people are probably glad to hear your story.
Yeah, there have been several that have said, you know, I'm in the same boat.
Thank you so much.
You know.
Yeah. So go check out the knee replacement. What update was that? 4 weeks?
4 weeks.
4 weeks that she did, and learn all about
Things are looking up now, except I got something going on with my kneecap. Yeah. Kneecap hurts real bad.
There you have it.
But let's not make this about me.
Okay. Let's make it about me.
Okay.
Oh, hey, me again. Still in the truck. We had decided through all of this, we can't trust the truck, and more importantly, we can't trust Ford to do the right thing. So the truck has been for sale since we got it fixed, which has been quite a while. And we got to the point where we're just like, we can't keep making the monthly payment on this. We have to get what we can out of it and get out of it. So kept lowering the price until we finally started getting some hits. People saying, okay, will you take a 2010 F350 and $12,000 for trade for it? And I'm like, seriously?
Throw in a dozen eggs.
You got a deal. Right? Take it. Some hits. A couple of people, actually one person came, was very interested, couldn't get the financing for it. A lot of people wanted to know if I would carry the loan for them. No, couldn't do that. So I actually had a very interested person. We negotiated a little bit. I'll say the first name, Mason. And he was like, okay, I'll meet you at a bank.
And this was from Facebook.
Oh yeah, so this was Facebook Marketplace. The one person who was very interested in it was through Auto Trader, and their system is so difficult to use.
Mason
in my
was
opinion.
through Auto Trader?
No, the guy who couldn't get it financed.
Gotcha.
He wanted it real bad.
Steve.
Yeah. Would love to have seen it go to Steve because he was going to use it to tow a trailer, and he was nice. But anyway, Mason was Facebook Marketplace. A lot of the, you get the, is this available? Yes, it is.
Crickets.
But Mason, and we negotiated to a price where I thought, it was okay. And I said, okay, it's this much. Mason said,
quiet.
Okay, where can we meet at a Chase Bank? And so I said, absolutely we can. My name is D. Here's my number. I'll see you Wednesday at noon. He said, okay. And then Cindy started getting some bad vibes about the whole thing, and I started getting some bad vibes. And so I said, you know what? I let him know.
No, you're not telling the whole story. So you were going to drive an hour to that bank to meet this guy who we know by Mason at a bank, and then he was going to do the cashier's check or whatnot.
Yeah. And
then he was going to bring you home.
Yeah. If he bought the truck, which we assumed he would.
So what's happening here is he's meeting a psycho killer at a bank, and it's worth it to this guy. He's got plenty of money. He's going to pay the money to get this guy in the truck.
And then take me out to the desert.
Home.
Yeah. And I'd end up in Mexico somewhere.
Ain't happening.
Anyway.
I felt really uneasy.
I trust her intuition and mine. So I canceled that, and Mason said, okay, why? I said, because your name is Mason and we're meeting there. You've given
Nothing
me
wrong with the
zero
name
information.
Mason.
That was it.
There was no last name.
His name had been Larry, Doug, would have been fine. But so, I told him it just seems really sketchy. He said, well, actually, I work for a car dealership.
Why didn't you say that?
And we're interested in that truck. And why didn't you lead with that? Well, a lot of people don't want to work with a car dealership. I'm like, they do if you're going to buy it. It's if it's like, hey, we'll sell that for you, that people are like, no, thank you. He was like, this is my full name. And I'm like, what could I have done to make you feel more at ease? I'm like, when I gave you my number, you tell me your full name and the phone number and say, and I asked, how will I know you? And he said, I'll be wearing jeans and a black shirt in the bank. So I'm wearing jeans and I might be. So yeah, I said, you could have had a personality. You could have given some information that's going to make me feel like you're an actual person.
Right. We didn't know if he was a bot or psycho murderer.
It ended up that I talked with the guy's manager, and they had a real business, and I was going to sell it to them for a price we could live with. The plan for today is not just to get rid of Mater. I am here by myself. Cindy is recovering from her knee surgery and is not up to the drive yet. Soon. So far on this drive, I really haven't been emotional, reminiscing like you would be, and I think a lot of that is because of the troubles we had with this truck with Ford this summer. When I got rid of the Racer, which was my Dodge Charger, that was a very emotional drive, and I miss that car. I miss that car today. I got a Lincoln after that. Don't miss that. I do miss Larry for many reasons, but I will miss engine brakes on this truck for the diesel. I will miss that the 500 horsepower engine on this diesel, because as you may have heard there, we just had to get around somebody really quick. Going up a hill, no problem. Mater handles it with ease. So I had made arrangements to take the truck down and sell it to them. So let's talk about sunk cost, because I know people are going to say, did you lose money on the truck?
Well, duh.
You don't make money on a truck unless, you're buying a 1967 Camaro for $125,000 because in 5 years it's going to be worth $150,000. Then you're going to make money. So let's say that you have a truck that you paid, I'm going to say $100,000. We did not pay $100,000 for our truck, but nice easy numbers that my brain can comprehend. So if you go in and you put, what are we going to say, $20,000 down on this truck, so you owe $80,000 for it. And then you're like, I have to sell this truck, but the truck is worth $73,000. Do you only lose $7,000? That's how the math works for some people. Whatever you owe versus what you get from it is the money that you lost. But if you have that same $100,000 truck and you put no money down on it,
I'm going to need a pencil.
then there's the 23. Let's start over.
Okay.
Let's say you buy a truck for $100,000. We did not pay $100,000 for Mater.
We're just going to use that number. It's a nice number.
It's easy. My brain couldn't comprehend it on the first take, but I think we can get it now. So you buy a truck for $100,000. Let's say you put $30,000 down on it. We're having some dog difficulties here.
It's Jimmy.
Every time we're doing a video, he's got to dig. It's crazy. So you pay $100,000.
Okay.
We covered the $100,000.
Okay.
We didn't pay that.
We did not pay that.
But you bought it for $100,000 and you put $30,000 down on it.
Okay. So now you owe $70,000.
Now you owe $70,000, and you're like, okay, I can sell this for $72,000.
And that means you make $2,000.
You just made $2,000.
Okay, I'm with you.
No, you didn't.
Why?
Because you put $30,000 down on it. That's part of the cost. You did not make money on that truck.
Feels like it though.
But if you bought that truck for $100,000 and put nothing down on it and got, what did I say, 73?
Yeah.
Then people are like, well, you just lost $27,000. You bought it for the same price?
I think it was 70. I don't know.
Let's try again.
It's fine. Keep going.
I can't keep going because he has thrown us so far off. So let's talk about sunk cost. It's a big thing in business, construction, all that, but it's a big thing in car sales too. Okay. Let's pretend you buy a truck for $100,000. We did not pay $100,000 for our truck.
We did not.
We did not. This is just for simple math. You buy the truck for $100,000. You put $30,000 down on that truck. You drive it for a bit. You're like, I need to sell this truck. You sell it for $72,000.
So you've made $2,000.
Well, you haven't.
Why?
Because you still paid $100,000 for that truck. You just put more money up front
So you lost $28,000.
You lost $28,000. So if you pay $100,000 for that truck and you put no money down and you sell it for $72,000, you lost $28,000.
You lost $28,000
with that math. So there's all kinds of charts and spreadsheets that we don't need to get into for where do you hit that thing where your truck is worth what you owe on it, and then you can start making money on it, but you don't. That's just part of that fallacy of if I can sell it for more than I currently owe on it, I'm making money, which you're not, as I just showed in that example. Long story long, you really don't make money on cars. They're not an investment. What are they called? It's not an investment.
An expense.
It's an expense.
That's right.
You were so right. It is. We figure we got a lot of good use out of it.
We did.
There's a, you paid for that use. We were happy with the money that we got from it.
Yep.
We'd have been happier if we'd gotten more. We'd have been happier if we didn't have to deal with the whole air conditioning thing. But here we are. So, truck is gone. Go ahead.
I just feel like interject. That's the word I'm looking for. I just feel like I need to interject. But the whole air conditioning thing.
Yes.
That's not why we sold the truck. Really.
It's a lot to do with it.
I just think that if that had never happened, I still think we still would have sold the truck because we still wanted to do something different. That's what I think.
We were tootling through Yellowstone, and we had the Airstream parked at a park outside of Yellowstone. Took the dogs with us because it was, an hour to get into Yellowstone, an hour to get back out, and then you got 3 hours to do stuff. If the dogs are with you, then, you don't have to worry about going back out as early as you would. So they were with us. We were driving through the park. We had to make a potty stop. And it was at one of those areas that had the vault toilets. And Cindy literally wanted to set everything on fire when she came out of that bathroom because it was so disgusting. And so we're seeing people driving around in their Class Bs and their Class Cs, and we're like,
they've got their own potty right there.
Whipping around the park. And
that's what we kept saying. They're just whipping around. They're
right?
Whipping into all these little places and seeing stuff.
Well, so we started talking about, wouldn't it be nice to not have to go back out of the park to, you could take the dogs with you, which we did, but you got your potty. You've got your food. You got a bed if you want to.
We had the dogs in the truck with us.
We did.
Which meant we couldn't get out really and go do anything. Yeah. We did have the stroller. We stopped at one place.
Yep.
Put him in the stroller, and then I waited outside with him while you went in the store, and
Yeah, so there's that. And it was on that part of the trip that we decided we really want to downsize.
Yeah.
So you are correct.
So I feel like I am correct. I don't think it had anything to do with the air conditioning.
But that would be the reason that we weren't looking to get a Ford for sure.
Yes.
Ford was off the list.
Yeah, for sure.
And the Airstream had been for sale. It's been 2.5 years now that the Airstream's been for sale. It still is for sale. Great Airstream, great price. Contact us.
Year and a half.
It was October of 23.
We've only had it for 2.5 years.
Well, we've been trying to sell it since we got it, evidently.
We got it in October of 22. We first put it up for sale in October of 23.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it hasn't been 2.5. You're the math whiz, evidently.
Apparently.
All right. So we started looking for Class B vans. We did a video on just the Gretsch because it was one of our top 3. We did a video on a few others along with the Pleasureway and the Midwest Automotive Designs. Those 3 have been our top choice for quality, for reliability, for support. Cindy found one that we went and took a look at, and we actually decided to pull the trigger on that one. And I was going to go to the valley to pick it up and sell the truck. And it turns out that when I got to the place where I was getting the van, I said, okay, after we close this deal, I have to take this truck over to this other place.
To Mason.
And going to sell it there. And the guy who sold us the van was like, why didn't you trade the truck in with us? I'm like, because you're Southwest Luxury Coach LLC, not Joe's
I mean, the fact that they had a Class B on their lot was totally not them, because all they do is like Prevos and, you know, big Tiffins and stuff. So it just somebody apparently came and traded in this Class B for a big bus, and there it sat for over a year because he couldn't sell it.
Right?
Apparently,
until we came along. Yeah, Cindy found it, and we went and looked at it, and we're like, I cannot believe that it's only this much for what this is. Yeah, and it's considering what it is, it's in fantastic shape. So we didn't buy new.
We didn't
as
buy
we've
new.
given away. We did buy used.
It's a 2017.
It is, and it is in absolutely fantastic shape. Not even just for the year, but it's in great shape. And we were surprised that it didn't sell faster. And I think they're like she said, they're not used to the Class Bs, and we stumbled across it.
Well, I and I'm over it now, but you know, I have in the past had an addiction to RV Trader.
No.
Yeah. That's how I found the Airstream.
It is.
And then that's how I found the van. And yeah, one Saturday morning, I was just all of a sudden it showed up in my feed, and I was like, what? And it was so pretty inside. And I showed D, and he was like, wow.
That's amazing.
And we just couldn't stop thinking about it.
And some of the features it has, it was just...
For its year, we're like, what?
Yeah.
So we ended up talking to the guy.
Did a walkthrough on Facebook.
He did a walkthrough FaceTime with us, and then we drove down to look at it the day before my surgery was initially scheduled. But on the way back that day, surgery got postponed a week because the humidity was off in the room. So actually January 22nd is when we went to look at it. This has been, today's March
22nd.
What is it really?
It's the 22nd.
Wow.
How about that?
Why did I think it was the 15th?
I don't
know.
A week. Lost it,
yeah. So, wow, 2 months.
Right? It took to be fair, we've had it for a few weeks.
We've had it for 2 weeks.
It's in a sketch part of town. When we looked at it on the website, we did some research and found it, and another reason we think it didn't sell is there was no information on it on RV Trader.
Yeah,
information coming soon.
Information coming
and
soon.
A few pictures. So if you didn't know what you were looking at, you're like, no, there's no info. But Southwest Luxury Coach is a company that had it for sale. And I shouldn't say it's a sketchy part of town. It's a very...
Well, but Gary even said, yeah, it's a sketchy part of town, but, you know, they've been there for, what, 30 years or something like that.
Yeah, so... We pulled in to look at this, and we're like, what have we done? This is a terrible decision. We have arrived at the place. We'll call it that.
The place.
We think this RV might be. Fun Guys
We're keeping
RV.
the doors locked, okay? And we're not making eye contact with anyone at this point.
Open from 10 till 2 most days, weekdays. Let me show you out the window why we're keeping the doors locked. And it is in a sketch part of town.
Super sketch.
Sure. And there's some Class A's over there. I mean, maybe you can see it in the mirror better. There's a Prevo. Yes, it's Prevo.
But here's the thing, though. So I found this ad for this coach on RV Trader, and then it said, visit the dealer's website. And the dealer's website is Southwest Luxury Coaches at a different address than this address. But when I messaged the person through RV Trader, a guy by the name of Alec is the one that called me back. He responded very promptly. And then when it came time, we said, we want to see this. He gave us this address. We get here, and it's called Fun Guys RV. I'm nervous.
I'm a little bit nervous, too. And I don't see that RV here. But we will. It's 10:01. They should be opening the door at any minute to come out and see what we want. Or I'll go try the door. That door.
You're brave.
But we walked through it, and it was just amazing. And they had just had service done on the engine, gone through the engine, had service done on the generator, had a new windshield put in it. He was going to put new tires on it once the deal was closed.
Because it still had the original tires.
Can you believe that?
But it only had 38,000 miles on it. But
That's
still, right. I mean, those tires are 8 years old.
Yeah, and they were in great shape. Well, because 38,000 miles, but we did get new tires on it. So we took a look at it, and there really wasn't much deciding to do other than we didn't want to have the truck and the Airstream and the van, so it was getting that truck sold. So, long story
yes,
long.
we still have the Airstream. We don't have a truck to pull it.
Right.
So we really need someone to come and buy it.
So you will need to tow it yourself now.
But we got rid of the biggest expense.
We did.
Which was the truck.
Yeah.
So
we are, yeah, that's gone.
Our expense now is with the van and the Airstream is
right.
less than what it was with the truck and the Airstream.
So we picked up the van, and I sold the truck to those people. And then when Mason's boss said, "Hey, are you still coming in today?" I said, "I literally just sold it to a friend." Because these guys are
friends with them by then.
And there's more coming. They're absolutely amazing people. We'll drop the name here, and the service they provide before, during, and after the sale has been great. So
they've been awesome. People are wondering why you needed service after the sale.
They're just going to have to come back and see.
Ooh, you better subscribe and ring that notification bell so that you'll know as soon as we drop it.
Right. So what was the last part we were going to do? Oh, where Mater is now. So we sold it to those guys. I mean, because they hustled and hustled. And they're like, "Can we unload this thing if we do buy it?" Mater's right there, and they're working up an offer, hopefully. Because if I could sell it here to these guys, I'll do that in a heartbeat. Well, they did. So I sold it to them. They sold it back to Peoria Ford, where we bought it. I have the app on my phone. I can see where...
He can still see where the truck is.
Still see where the truck is. It's sitting right out front of the lot where we bought it.
So if you're interested, and you're in the Phoenix area, it's at Peoria Ford. Air conditioning's all been fixed.
It's for $73,000 now.
$73,000.
On one hand, good for them. I can't believe it's that cheap.
I can't believe it's that cheap. I thought sure it would be 80 at least.
At least.
I just cannot believe it's that cheap. So, I mean, that thing is brand spanking new in all aspects except, I mean, what's it got on it? 13,000 miles?
16,200
miles.
Something maybe. And I mean, we upgraded, we put a bed tonneau cover on it and some floor mats in it. And that's really the only thing, but it's in perfect shape.
Yeah.
I mean, drove off the lot kind of shape. It's just funny that it's back there. It's for 73 and that's not much less than what we paid for it. I'm not going to say what we paid for it, but we got a heck of a deal. This is a heck of a deal. Go get yourself a truck that you have to take to Ford to get it serviced. So we do have a Class B van sitting right there. And we're going to show it to you and tell you what it is, but not in this video.
Is it one of our top 3 choices?
I know. She knows. You just have to come back and see. So,
when are we going to tell them?
Next video. Right? So thanks for sticking it out through this and my multiple takes at trying to do math. And if you liked the video, even if you didn't like the video, subscribe. It really helps us out, and it's free. Hit the thumbs up that you like it, and hit that notification bell so you can be notified when the next video drops. Like that.
Wow, such terminology.
So you can come back and see what we ended up buying. And hey, put a comment down there in the comment section.
We want to know what your guesses are. Remember, our top 3 choices were Gretsch, Midwest Automotive Designs, and Pleasureway.
And you could put other.
You could put other. You could put like Jayco or Winnebago or whatever. But...
All right, so we will see you in the next video with the big reveal.
Yay, it's going to be so fun.
All right, guys, we'll see you soon. I'm just going to keep what I did before because that was fine. But where was I going with that?
I feel like we're really far away from the camera. Are we normally that far away?
I don't think we are. Jimmy, will you bring the camera over here? I'm very red, but I always am.
Oh, that looks more normal.
Yeah?
Doesn't it?
It does. Camera's over here. I'd have
looking at it.
I think so. Okay.
Now we just have to try not to look at ourselves.
It's hard not to look at us, though.
Do you want me to put some stuff on your cheeks? Or, I mean, if you make your face not red, then will I look like a ghost?
Shouldn't. But maybe we should make me up a little.
Right.
Makeup!
Look at that.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, makeup's done. I'll be in my trailer. Or will I? There's the teaser.
Oh.
That won't ever make it in the video. All right. Well, let's get it started then. So we're going
you know what?
to...
The time is on the TV screen back behind us. Do you see that? I can fix it.
Okay, and then we'll start over.
No, we'll just leave that. It's fine. I mean,
they can know
real
what time
life,
it is.
Real life. And this was from Facebook.
This was from Facebook.
There's the murderer.
Hello?
Oh!
Camera readjustment because
dogs.
Greta can't move around
Well,
it.
the shower head just fell off our shower. It happens. It's fine. Don't even worry about it.
So I'll straighten this up later, I guess. But
Stop.
Hey, guys, don't get dogs unless you want ours. I kid. I'm kidding.
Come on. Get up here. Come on.
Okay, so
That
where
was
were
my
we?
fault. You should have waited and...
Well, I can cut that out. That's the magic of editing. Is this where we...
No.
Okay.
But then that leads into...
Yeah, but we don't want to go there yet. So let's talk about sunk cost. Let's take 3.
Oh, Jimmy!
Oh, good gosh.
Okay.
Now where do we go with it?
I don't know. What did you want to talk about next?
I don't know. I guess we don't care. I'll figure it out when we're editing.
Wow, that was informative.
Yeah, right.
I hardly even remember when that
Well, you weren't there.
happened. Oh, okay. I promised to get into the van for the reveal. I guess I don't need to be in there. Kind of like to be.
I think you should be part of the reveal.
Sure.
For sure. I'll hold the camera. You can
I mean, I found it.
off. You did.